Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. Winter storm mode is running. This is the afternoon edition here with a couple of updates here at 1:30 in the afternoon on the 16th of December, 2020. We have lots to talk about today. Obviously, this afternoon, we still have dew points here that are in the single digits here. The air is very dry here, but it's starting to saturate near and wet bulb near here in where the precipitation is already spreading out now through East Stroudsburg. We'll show you that in a minute. Allentown, it's snowing. Voorhees, Trenton, it's snowing. It's also snowing right here along Monmouth County, New Jersey, down to Toms River. And it's rain now further south as you get towards south of Toms River, just a little bit further south here, and all the way into Atlantic and Cape May counties. Now, in the pinks here, this is a winter storm warning, and the winter storm warning remains in effect. I don't know, we just lost the layer there. Let's see if it can come back up. Winter storm warning is going to remain in effect until from noon today until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Obviously, dangerous traveling conditions. If we look this up here, it would travel very difficult to impossible, hazardous conditions starting out this evening. Commute tonight into tomorrow morning's commute, heavy snow, gusty winds, and well, we know that to be true. Now, if we take this off, and this covers all of northern New Jersey, all of eastern Pennsylvania. Now, in the blues here, or the pink, or the purple, if you wish, this is a winter weather advisory in effect until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning too, and that's going to be an impactful time for travel, making it difficult for this evening's commute and tomorrow morning's commute as well. Snow will move in from the southwest to the northeast, and it is this afternoon already. It's in the form of snow right now. And the snow could become heavy at times this evening and then mix with and change to sleet and rain tonight. We'll get into that in just a moment. Of course, we have other things going on here. We have the winter weather advisory. Now, this is a coastal flood warning and a winter storm warning also superseding each other here along the coastlines here until 3 p.m. tomorrow on Thursday for the coastal flood warning, and a winter storm warning again until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for this vicinity in here. And of course, they're near Wharton State Forest here, and interior other areas here of the coastal plain of southeastern New Jersey. We have a coastal flood warning until 3 o'clock from 7 p.m. tonight till 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and the winter weather advisory in effect from 6 p.m. this evening until 1 a.m. on Thursday. Very, very, very tricky things going on here. We have a coastal flood advisory here also for the Sound of Long Island, if we can pull this up too. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. We have a winter storm warning, coastal flood advisory, coastal flood watch here in effect for these regions, and gale warnings on the coast. I'm sure that these are gale warnings, so it's going to be quite a soupy-doopy experimental time going on forward here this afternoon, this evening, and overnight tonight, with gale warnings in effect from 1 o'clock until 6 p.m. this evening, and a storm warning in effect from 6 o'clock tonight to 6 a.m. on Thursday morning. Gale warnings also in effect from 1 p.m. this afternoon to 6 p.m. this evening, and storm warnings again from 6 p.m. tonight to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at the latest Doppler. Move the hazard maps off here. You can see that the dew points are very, 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 very dry here, and not meeting or wet bulbing just yet, but there's a lot of virga here. This is all virga in the atmosphere. It's starting to fill in across this area here, but I'm not finding any ping reports here. Out of Stroudsburg, we're starting to see some reports, and also portions of Warren County are now actually pinging reports in that it is snowing and it is reaching the ground. Of course, from East Stroudsburg all the way out through Allentown, and then down through Lancaster, and then all of southeastern Pennsylvania here. This is all snow in here right now, and it looks to be moderate snow, and it's raining from south of Toms River all the way down through Vineland and Dover, Delaware at this time, where the temperatures are already rising above the freezing mark. So this is all rain in here. This is snow, and the snow is now breaking out. It's even snowing pretty good right around the coastlines here of Middletown down to Toms River this afternoon. Using the Weather and Hazards Data Viewer from the National Weather Service here, we'll take a look at the winds right now. They're generally freshening up right along the coast and offshore here as low begins to emerge from off the coastline here. We'll get into the Storm Prediction Center's mesoscale analysis in just a moment. We can already find these winds gusting into the 30s here right along and offshore the coastlines of southern Long Island, the backwater bays here of New York, and of course around Long Branch and further south down to Atlantic City. High pressure is still in control here, and this is nose down. This is very strong high pressure for this time of the year, and this was not modeled to be as strong as it currently is. I want to get into the Weather Prediction Center here for a minute. I meant to say Storm Prediction Center's mesoscale analysis. Look at all of this high pressure that's over southeastern Canada. It's a little bit further east than what was modeled yesterday or the day before. And this is a very strong cold air damming signature on the east side of the mountains here, all the way down to Virginia's, where it's snowing and sleeting and freezing rain. And then there is rain right along the immediate coastlines here of the Delmarva as well. Here is one area of low pressure. And one stream, another area of low pressure here, and the low pressure around the Gulf. All of these are going to mingle and marry into one low pressure system right along the coastline here later this afternoon and tonight as the frontogenetic forcing gets going here. Let us look at the surface observations once again. We can find out that we've got a busy forecast coming up for the rest of this afternoon and overnight tonight. Do the upper air analysis at 850 millibars. That's about 5,000 feet. All the cold air is locked in here down through the Delmarva. And this screen must be refreshing itself. Here is our 850 millibar low here, getting ready to get into the Ohio River Valley area at this hour. And, well, all the winds are now at 850 millibars coming in from off the ocean out of the southwest. So we've got plenty of precipitable water values coming in and increasing across the Delaware Valley area here south into Maryland. This is better than 1.5, and then juicy as we head into the Gulf here of Florida and the Panhandle here. This is all this precipitable water values are going to move in our direction. Right now the precipitation type is generally in the form of light snow. As you get into New York and portions of New Jersey here, it's already starting out at some rain here across central and coastal New Jersey down through the Delaware River Valley area. Near freezing surface temperatures, well, that is right on top of us here, and there's a strong gradient. And if we go into this gradient, let's see if we can get back into the northeast here and see where that is and take off the radar here. There's a strong temperature gradient right here, right along the coastline here of New York and Long Island, cutting back into northern New Jersey here, right just north of Middletown in Monmouth County, just west of there. All the cold air is right in here. This is the sweet spot, and then temperatures are rising above freezing in these areas here in the reds. At 10,000 feet, middle levels of the atmosphere, 700 millibars, southwesterly winds here blowing in at 50, 40, 50 knot winds here coming in, and this relative humidity, or it's relative humidity, and it's above 70% in these areas. It's going to be forecasted to really increase across the area as we get into the evening hours. I want to take a look at the 925 millibar temperatures here at about 3,000 feet. We find a strong gradient here where the air is flowing in from off the Atlantic Ocean, and that is increasing the temperature profiles at 925 millibars. Also, if we went up to 850 millibar, we find a better temperature advection coming in from off of the ocean. So we know that we've got northeast winds here at the surface, east to southeast winds or southwesterly winds aloft, and now we have lots of moisture and temperature advection coming in. So we've got a juicy atmosphere coming in our direction over the next couple of hours. And the frontogenetic forcing, the stretching of the wind, the upper level divergence here, which is going on right now along the Carolina coast, up all the way into the Delmarva and central and southern New Jersey, is going to be increasing as we head into the afternoon hours. That's going to pull a lot of moisture into the region and over the cold dome that's now in place with this cold air damming signature here. The snow rates are going to start to increase during the evening hours after 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock tonight. And this is 850. No, that's the surface. If we looked at 850, also, again, we're finding areas here to the west of the to the east of the 850 millibar low, which is already increasing in this upper level divergent and diffluent flow that we're finding here on the chart at this surface pressure level. So we know that things are going to be busy around here as we get into the afternoon. You got a very big, strong jet couplet here, and this is going to be riding all the way up the east coast, and this is a perfect signature for a major winter storm. Latest info here from the hourly 17Z HRR model, which is version 3 or 4 now. So this includes, now the 18Z data is not in yet. That comes in after this broadcast. We can see the snow breaking out. It's mixing with some sleet and some moderate to heavy rain here right along that frontogenetic band here. Here comes the center of low pressure now off the Chesapeake at 1004 millibars modeled here, and there is a strong southeast wind coming in here, so there's going to be a big cutoff in precipitation. But where these sweet spots are here, this looks like moderate to heavy snow falling in this band here beginning late tonight, early tomorrow morning. So we know that it's going to be snowing really good. I don't think the forecast is going to be too much of a change. Could be a little bit more fill-in here than what the model was previously showing with the dry slot earlier this morning. Looks like that may not work out. And if it doesn't work out, that means that there's going to be a lot more sleet and snow in these areas along and north of where the frontogenetic band is located, and the 700 and 850 millibar low will be located by tomorrow morning. Notice how it hugs the coast, and as we get into the early morning hours, there's a dry slot here from, let's say, Philadelphia through central and coastal New Jersey down through Delaware, where all the heavier band of sleet now falling in the city and up towards the south and north shores of Long Island. Moderate to heavy rain right along these pockets here. Could be some heavy sleet in here, and of course the moderate to heavy snow. Now, what does the model see right now in terms of snowfall totals? Well, it's pretty sweet, and it hasn't really changed all that much. Again, when you come down here through the coastlines here from Monmouth County south, it's going to be very little. There'll be a burst here earlier today. Obviously, we're seeing that. And again, not seeing too much change here. There seems to be some mixing here in the precipitation with sleet, and that is probably bringing down the snow totals on this guidance here. But if the colder solution pans out, and I'm not seeing that right now, actually, too, because I'm already looking at the Storm Prediction Center's mesoscale analysis at 925 and 850 millibar temperatures, and the warm air advection is coming in. So we know that there's going to be a mixing here that is going to be going on during the next several hours, especially into the overnight and into early tomorrow morning as well. So that may cut down some of the snow totals here, but nonetheless, this is a dangerous situation. Heavy wet snow. And off the 12Z run of the NAM model, not much has changed through Thursday morning into the late morning hours. Again, there change of forecast because of, mixing or whatever, unless there's going to be some sleet mixing in from central New Jersey from 78 south here through the I-95 corridor and down through the Philadelphia region here, then we're not really going to change the forecast too much. The NAM model still sees very high snow totals here across northern New Jersey from 80 west of 287 into the city as well, and then west here and north of Interstate 80. So not much change overall. This is the latest graphic again from the National Weather Service in Mount Holly, New Jersey. It's changed very little. This was done at 7 a.m. this morning through tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, the heaviest snow here north and west of 287, north through the Hudson River Valley area, also into Connecticut, the North Shore of Long Island as well. This includes New York City, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island. We'll get into this as well. And then, the highest amounts here with the banding, the frontogenetic banding, probably going to be over the Poconos, so that looks good. Now, This area in here, which has the dotted lines here from, let's say, Monmouth County all the way down to Wilmington, Delaware, is going to be in a transitional zone where they expect a sharp gradient of snow and sleet accumulations, and the sleet will actually hamper it. It's going to be very wet snow, so that's going to make the amounts compacted and come down. And of course, by the time you get towards Toms River, less than an inch, and then Atlantic City and Vineland, which is in the rain right now, and it's coming down pretty good in Atlantic City too. It's raining right now in Vineland, and at Dover, Delaware also as well. Has a little bit of wet snow and sleet mixing in right now. We finish up early this afternoon with the look at the cloud cover here. Here's the streaming of all of the cloud cover and the precipitation shield working from southwest to northeast. And look at all the low-level moisture underneath, undercutting this from off of the ocean. That's a beautiful looking goes east geocolor satellite imagery, if you ask me. And again, same thing here on the east band, goes east band 13. Nesta star goes east band 13. Here's all that warm air and all that cloud cover now beginning to make it over, and the precipitation beginning to come in, and then all of, you can see all of the cloud cover underneath it coming in from off the ocean into the coastline. It's just a perfect example. Here's a mosaic of the northeastern sector of the Doppler radar from the National Weather Service. And again, we're getting ready to rock and roll. The forecast looks pretty much on target. Here's our cold air. Here's our high pressure here over Quebec, and it's a little bit further east southeast than it was, and that is being modeled correctly now, but it's being corrected. Look at these temperatures here. -22 with a -27 degrees Celsius dew point. Ugh. Oh, Madon, that's cold. And here is the cold air damming wedge all the way down the spine of the Appalachians. I'll be back in video form in a couple of hours. Going to take a little break in between, watch everything unfold, pay attention in the background to things that are going on. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith.